A new push to protect those who protect us. Cancer is the #1 cause of death for firefighters.
And that is exactly why 2 Arizona senators are introducing a bill to ensure we fully support every hero who gets diagnosed. Team 12's Trisha Hendricks is live at the state capitol this morning with more on this bill and what's already being done across departments in the Valley. Good morning, Trisha.
Good morning, guys. Happening at 10:30 this morning. 2 senators you mentioned, Senators Paul Boyer and Heather Carter, they're planning to introduce new legislation, all in an effort to make sure firefighters that get diagnosed with cancer get the help they need immediately. Now, the numbers are just staggering. In 2019, 22 Valley crew members were diagnosed with cancer, and those numbers are just from one clinic. 4 firefighters passed away after battling the disease. Dr. Pablo Pritchard is currently seeing a theme here. Sadly, firefighters are getting more aggressive kinds of cancer at a younger age.
They look strong, they look invincible, and so people don't think of them as being prone to cancer.
A number of Valley fire departments are already taking steps to protect their crew members. A Goodyear, a special fire truck there, built to prevent the spread of chemicals. Good news there. Also, Phoenix providing free screenings to catch cancer sooner, to help catch cancer sooner, that is. Now, the ultimate goal for Senators Boyer and Carter is to make sure firefighters diagnosed with cancer get covered by their insurance, of course, if it's tied to their profession when they're diagnosed. Again, that happening at 10:30 this morning here at the state capitol. Live in Phoenix, Trisha Hendricks, Today in AZ.